Hey, good morning. Welcome to August the 26th, 2026 midweek transformation morph moment. And so we've been focusing recently on looking like Jesus, and we've been emphasizing the idea is how do we do that? And we do that by imitating or mimicking. And so our main scripture passage has been Ephesians chapter 5. And the first verse reads something like this morning. Be imitators of God, therefore, as dearly beloved children. And so what we find out is Paul had just been addressing bitterness and anger within the that group of people who were believers. And so he started talking to them about how they could imitate and how they could imitate God. So week one, we looked at how you and I can imitate God by walking in love. Week two, we looked at how we can imitate God by walking in light. And so this week, we want to look at how we imitate God by walking in wisdom. And so that walking is just a picture of how we live, our behavior, our words, our thoughts, and our deeds. One of the things that's always important to think about initially is the difference between knowledge and in truth. And so think about it this way. Knowledge is the gaining of facts, and wisdom is how we apply those facts. And so in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 15 through 17, Paul gives us the characteristics of walking in wisdom. And here's the word this morning. Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. So he gives us three ideas. In verse 15, the first thing he tells us is that we need to be careful how we live. And so he says there's two options. We either live as unwise or we live as wise. And so the idea is every day we live and we walk and we behave in such a way that we have a purpose, and our purpose is to look like Jesus. In verse 16, he said that we are to make the most of every opportunity. And so the image that I get out of that is redeem the time. And the picture in Scripture is the buying or the snatching up. And it says, because the days are evil, because the days are short, and we all receive the same amount of time, 24 hours a day, 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds every single day that we get to redeem, that we get to snatch, we get to buy up, and we don't get any more. And so in Scripture, there are two words for time. One is chronos, so that's clock time. And the second one is kairos, and that's God's time. And so the picture here is about this time is God's time. And so how do we look more like Jesus? In verse 17, he says, hey, know the heart of God. Understand what the Lord's will is. And we do that many times through our spiritual habits. And so as we walk in love and we walk in light and we walk in wisdom, and we do that by imitating God, we will look more like Jesus. And he will transform us, or he will morph us into his image every single day. And we do these three things this morning because of our relationship with Christ, because of his presence through his Spirit in our lives. And hopefully we're working every day with some daily habits. Maybe working is not the right word to use, but it's the idea that we have these daily habits, these daily disciplines, prayer and study and fasting and praising and worship. These allow us to tap into the wisdom of God because he is an all-knowing God. So this morning, my question is, who do you look like, or who do you want to look like? And may we strive this day to look more and more like Jesus. Have a blessed day.